You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, as you know, ESPN, who used to be the worldwide leader, they are in a whole bunch of trouble, guys. ESPN has been doing layoffs for the better part of a decade now. And the last round of layoffs was an eye-opener as a bunch of people that a lot of you guys already know in front of the camera lost their jobs. They got fired. Disney, they're not happy with ESPN. I believe, guys, that they actually truly do want to unload the whole company. But however, they want to stay in live sports at the same time. So therefore, Bob Iger had come out, and I touched on this on the video, that they were actually looking for companies to invest money into ESPN. Essentially, guys, they want to sell off a large portion of ESPN. I mean, ESPN makes no money. A lot of people also, guys, are actually cutting the cord. People before, when they had cable, they actually had to pay for ESPN without actually watching ESPN. Those days are long gone now, guys. Because now people cutting the cord, they're getting antenna like me, they're getting streaming services, and that does not require you to actually pay for ESPN. Now, of course, Disney does have ESPN Plus, but that is not their main revenue driver. Disney Plus is failing. I believe they also want to sell Hulu. I don't know what the future of ESPN Plus is. I really don't. So let's get into this, guys, because ESPN, they're just about done. They're just about dead. Look at this, guys. Disney ESPN urged sports leagues to buy stake in failing cable sports network. Yes. Disney has reached out to MLB, the NFL, and the NBA to become partners and essentially own part of ESPN. This makes no sense if you are these sports elites, because why would you actually want to invest your money into a dying product? ESPN is a dying product, folks. I mean, Disney owns 80% of it. They have lost money for the better part of a decade. And I believe that Disney, they pretty much had it with losing money on ESPN. How do you actually expect them to actually make money on ESPN? The only thing that I believe Disney is doing here is just trying to cut their losses. Because no matter who actually invests into ESPN, they're going to lose money. You know what? It's kind of like at this point, investing in ESPN is essentially, guys, like investing your money in a WNBA franchise. There is no return on investment. Now, we also heard about Disney actually wanting to put ESPN on its own streaming service, which actually, guys, may be the most expensive streaming service out there. I mean, it's ridiculous. How much does the average person actually spend on a streaming service? I would say what? $10 on average? I believe like Paramount Plus is like $5 a month. Netflix, I'm not exactly sure how much that is. Probably like around $12 a month or so. Prime Video, which is essentially Amazon Prime, is like $12 a month. An ESPN streaming service may end up costing you even more than what you're actually paying on your cable bill now for the ESPN products. I'm hearing something like $20, $25 a month. That is expensive right there. ESPN is a dying brand. And if I'm these sports leagues, I'm not doing this. But let's go ahead and read into this, guys. ESPN has sent out requests to the Big Three sports leagues to consider buying a stake in a cable sports network as layoffs and cost-cutting continues, according to a report. As its financial losses grow by the day, Disney said it would begin looking for ways to unload large chunks of ownership stakes in TV networks, including ESPN, ABC, FX, National Geographic, Freeform, and others. Now, at least where it concerns ESPN, it looks like the effort includes offering a stake to the major leagues. Early in July, Disney chief Bob Iger told CNBC that the Mouse House is searching for new partners that might be open to sinking cash into these networks, which may, quote, not be core to Disney's best interests. Iger added that he intended to take an expansive view of how to push off costs onto others. So if you got the money, you want to lose some money, invest in ESPN. Yeah. As part of that effort to get out from under the cost of running ESPN, Disney has reportedly held talks with the NBA, NFL, and MLB to join them in losing money on ESPN. An NBA spokesman seemed to confirm the meeting, saying, quote, "We have a long-standing relationship with Disney and look forward to continuing the discussions around the future of our partnership," CNBC reported on Friday. Now, when it comes to the NBA, ESPN pays a whole bunch of money to the NBA. Why in the world would the NBA actually essentially want to give a whole bunch of money back? Why? It doesn't make any good business sense at all. Neither ESPN nor the NBA or MLB confirm the reports. Disney owns 80% of ESPN and aims to spread its ownership position around. Hearst owns the other 20%. That's on Hearst Communications. Still, despite the plans to lower its exposure, Iger insisted that Disney wants to stay in sports. Quote, Our position in sports is very unique, and we want to stay in that business," Iger said. "We're going to be open-minded about looking for strategic partners that could either help us with distribution or content. I'm not going to get too detailed about it, but we're bullish about sports as a media property. Disney has been facing several budget shortages throughout its holdings, not just among its cable networks. ESPN in particular has suffered several waves of layoffs. Late last month, Disney and ESPN shed top talent such as Jalen Rose and longtime NBA analyst Jeff Van Gundy, among others. The company is also suffering the ongoing disappointment of its Disney Plus online streaming service, which has not taken off as expected yet. Disney Plus lost $800 million in one quarter. $800 million. We know what's happening with the box office too, guys, but we're going to focus here on sports. But when it comes to the box office, Disney, like the last, I don't know how many movies, they've lost like $1.2 billion. Billion. They're not making money on anything, guys. In ESPN, we've known for a very, very long time that there is no money to be made in ESPN. None. And a cord cutting, that's going to make it worse for ESPN. I believe that ESPN is just too big. It has way, way, way too many networks. I mean, there's ESPN, ESPN News, ESPN Plus. They got like 6 or 7 networks just under ESPN. It's just gigantic, man. Way too much money. And people that don't want to watch sports anymore don't have to pay for it. ESPN used to have over 100 million subscribers. I believe it's like down to 50 million subscribers now. So they've lost like half. They went from 100 million to like 50 million, and it keeps getting worse. There's no money to be made. None. ESPN is dead. I believe that this company is going to totally collapse because we're definitely seeing a change out there when it comes to cord cutting. And people just don't want sports. And people that don't want to watch sports, they're not going to watch. It's just that simple. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.